What's up, everyone? It's Bryan from the Exact IT Solutions Cybersecurity YouTube channel. Welcome to another video where we educate you and bring you up to date on the latest news and information on cybersecurity. Today we have an interesting one. One of the things that's happening a lot out there with especially M&A companies is cyber criminals are targeting companies that are going through or in the processes of looking for being acquired or merging or what have you. And cyber criminals are kind of all over this, and they are literally targeting these companies left and right once they sniff that there's some kind of potential for a merger or acquisition. And there's another company today, brand spanking news in the last 24 hours, that's been another victim of this. And it's funny because a few weeks ago, the FBI just put out a bulletin around this same exact scenario where cyber criminals are taking advantage of the merger and acquisition business and deploying ransomware or gaining access to the network and using that access or using that ransomware as leverage and using the deal as leverage to hope that they get a quick payment and quick result from the situation. Let's get into who got attacked and what's going on and whose potential M&A deal could be in trouble or might not look as nice as it did the other day to the company that invested in it. So let's get into it. All right, there's a printing company called R.R. Donnelley, publicly traded, and they are, it says here on the investing.com article that I was able to pull up, that R.R. Donnelley slips after case of system intrusion. And ultimately, what's going on here is that their stock is slipped because they're a publicly traded company. If we jump over to Wikipedia, R. Donnelley is an American Fortune 500 integrated communications company that provides marketing and business communication, commercial printing, and related services. Its corporate headquarters are located in Chicago, Illinois, and as of 2007, R. Donnelley was the world's largest commercial printer. So we have the world's largest commercial printer who has recently disclosed that they had a network intrusion. Going into the details of the event, it appears that they had an incident response plan. It appears that they were able to mitigate this attack to some level, although they are being fairly tight-lipped about it because they're saying they are in the early stages of the investigation. The stock did slip, and their stock was up a little bit because there was a transaction with a company called Chatham Asset Management, who were taking over or acquiring the business at $10.85 a share. So it's off a little bit from the share, and the deal is supposed to close in 2022. So just looking at this from a cyber criminal's point of view, you get in here, you do this, you have a foothold on the network. They're scrambling right now to figure out how this even happened, what they got access to. Could they potentially, if they do spin up these systems, could they potentially be looking at a ransomware type of situation? They're not really saying what's going on, obviously, for a lot of different reasons. They're a publicly traded company, and they're under, right now, probably an NDA through the acquisition. And this is going to potentially affect that deal. But again, this is something we're seeing way too often in the M&A space, where cyber criminals are literally wreaking havoc on companies that are in the midst of or very close to an acquisition or some kind of merger or some kind of deal to buy or sell a company. And you know, if you've ever been involved in these situations, which I have, they get very intense. It's no different if you have never sold a business. It's pretty close to selling a home or something like that. and people just want to get things done. And cyber criminals know this, and they know that they have two parties that one wants to get paid, the other one wants to acquire, so they can start making money from their acquisition. And cyber criminals are very good at messing with the psychology of business people in order to get a quick payment, and that's exactly what you see here. So heed warning, M&A companies, that this is a thing. This is something that you're going to have to deal with. Merger and acquisition companies are a prime target right now for cyber criminals, and cyber criminals are very good at targeting your companies and getting in. They just did it to a Fortune 500 company. I talk to Fortune 500 company people that work in Fortune 500 companies all the time, and they think they have the best security in the world. I'm here to tell you that they don't, because I've evaluated them, or I've had conversations with them, and they're still a long way to go. And this hacking group that got into R.R. Donnelley proves me right again. So that's where we're at with things. Hope you've learned a lot from this video. If you're an M&A company, we help M&A companies with these types of things, so they don't go and buy a company that could potentially be under an attack or has been attacked in the past, and maybe that door's still open for a future attack. When you do announce your M&A deal, this is the things that we're seeing. And make sure that your portfolio companies that you have are secure and they're doing everything that they need to do, so that one day you don't end up with a company that you think is worth, I don't know, a few $100 million, and then they get hit with ransomware and they're not worth anything. So this is really important stuff for the M&A industry. Hope they take heed. But again, we have R.R. Donnelley, major printing company, one of the world's largest and oldest printing and marketing companies in the United States, has fallen victim to a cyber attack here on December 28th, 2021.